headed south down I-15 into Nevada to explore some abandoned locations. Come along with us and join the adventure.
Welcome everyone to Weekend Escapades. Today we have found our way to Mesquite, Nevada, in the middle of the desert. You'll see behind me on the pole behind, there's a sign there that says people. And this is where the sign was for the Riverside Inn and Resort that was here. Just the remnants are left on the ground for the sign. You'll see one of the poles has fallen down. And again, that one is still standing that says people. And we're gonna try and get in here again today. It's about 90 degrees in the middle of this dry, desolate desert. And right down here is the Riverside Inn. And I heard there was a fire. There's a lot of old stone buildings we're gonna try and take a look at. So come along with us on this adventure as we're gonna explore this and much more. Okay, so let's get right into it. This is the Riverside Inn Resort and what's left. I can see over here already that the buildings that we explored last time have been burned. Now, a lot of people come down here, maybe they stay, camp, whatever it may be. But if they do and start a fire, a lot of wood buildings, really popular place to come down here at night, start a little bonfire, and have a little fun. You can see this is what's left of that building. Now this building here is just about the same as this one over here. That one had a wood structure behind it. This one had a fairly significant stone structure right there that's fallen over. Very interesting. Would like to see pictures of this in its heyday. I'm going to see if I can find some. Last time we really struggled with it. It's just kind of a forgotten area. You know, this was big at one time, and again, no photos that I could find, but I'll do a little bit deeper digging this time. Look at that old chair. That doesn't look very comfortable. Interesting. Wood floor in there. These buildings are built like an old pioneer home out of stone. A lot of old metal on the ground. A porch. You know what's strange? Haven't even heard a car go by since we've been here. Just a little bit of wind. Maybe I hear one coming now, but it is really eerie out here because you don't know if somebody is going to be in one of these buildings or what you'll find, because from day to day I'm sure it changes with people coming out here. Great place to hide something, that's for sure, because I think people are a little leery about coming down here from the stories they've heard and the goings-ons that have happened in this area. Again, people camping out here, you know, burning things down like this over here, and a lot of bullets and shotgun shells. So that means there's still a lot of activity in this area. Go through these trees and see what we find. So this area is all built up, rock walls. This was just a big planter. It's a big square. I thought maybe something was in that part of it, like it was a building, but it's not. It's just like a big planter. You can see the back side of this, where it's down by the river. All this was built up with these walls. This is almost like a parking area or something, but see this retaining wall here, and then like a driveway right through here. Some more walls over there, and the river lies right down in that area, right there. Now, it used to flow a lot more when it was here, so the riverside has moved way far away from this location compared to what it used to be, unless it floods. So no telling what this part was, but they did quite a bit of work on it. Is that a building? See if there's a door. No. Looks like maybe there was a walkway there and a door or something, but see if we can look inside on the top. No, it's like a big planter. Now again, no pictures from when this did exist, but you can see the walkways and things here. Again, riverside, so that means right over here is where all that would be. There's some banks over here when the river came up that high. Stop, because it dips off pretty big right there. See here, there's still some cement, tin cans and things. And kind of a walkway for being able to get, and there's reeds down there, so when the water comes up, but this is where the water would have came up to, right there. And this is the old, like, powerhouse, generator house. They had propane in here and things for the cabins. And I think last time we were here, there was like refrigerators and things in there, but that's what this building was. So this kind of supported all the rooms and the little resort of the Riverside Inn. Utility shack. Man, they liked the stonework. They built this up and had planters around there, and I bet this place was really nice. Another building here. Whatever that would have been. Another block building, a little bit newer. Right here. An old caulking gun on the ground. They probably used for maintenance here. This wall's fallen over. I'm walking on it. Graffiti. Paint cans. There you go. There's the evidence of all the graffiti. And this tree fell over right here and crushed this wall. Plain tree right through the building. The other thing I noticed, there's a lot of like CO2 tanks here. There's like 4 of them here, and they're laying on the ground. Those are definitely pressurized tanks. But I don't really see anything here that would need those kind of things, like oxygen tanks or, you know, some kind of pressurized gas or something. But they're laying here on property. And see, here's another one here. If anybody knows what kind of tanks those would be, let me know. Were they gas? CO2? This is like the only building that's still intact. Yeah, the roof is still semi-sealed. And the wall's just kind of plaster, and you can see the outline for chicken wire on there. A little window. Not sure what that shack would have been used for. Moving on. Now, it's really nice, this location, to be able to see it as an abandoned location. And we want to come here every so often, and you see kind of the deterioration of it, till one day they'll probably just level it and put something else in with its proximity to the river. But for now, we're just gonna keep taking a look at it until evidently it is, because the deterioration of this area is fascinating. As every time we come here, another building's missing, and you hear stories about things that happen here. And this time it was those 2 buildings right there that burnt down. Alright, you can see beside me here on the road sign, this is going to be the corner of Mesquite and Yucca here in Mesquite. Has that deserty look with all the adobe and I guess the beige-ish style buildings. And that's the Mesquite Fine Art Gallery right there. Some fine cactus in front of it. And I think this is the museum right next to us. It's going to give us a little bit of history of the area. Okay, we have found it. This is a historical marker right in front of the museum. So we're going to go ahead and see if this is open. We can get inside. Hey, 10 to 4. I think we made it. There you go. We are in Nevada. An old slot machine.
So it was a pretty nice place.
Look at that one.
It was. I remember this being, yeah.
Like the old one-armed bandit style.
Did they have, you know, when you're young? Yeah.
You know, my mom back in the day used to use one of these switchboards. She used to tell me about it in California. Old insulators. We used to use those for telegraph and, of course, electrical. But this is all around telegraph and telephone.
Oh, yeah.
A projector, a movie projector, 1904, before sound.
Off the freeway to get to Riverside Road, and he was out there with his bike.
Well, that is a piece of history for sure.
I don't know, but I know, years and there's been people when I've done that.
Kind of a small little museum, but a lot of good stuff. Old wood stove and oven. Look at that refrigerator. General Electric, 1926-27 refrigerator. Looks like an old vault. Almost the same construction. We walked around the corner, found the old telephone booth. Look at that. It's all still here. Not that old. I think I've used one that old before. You sit right down there and make a phone call. And this is a, well gosh, I don't know what that is. A raisin stemmer. A raisin stemmer? I guess these wheels would turn, run the raisins around in there and take the stems off the raisins. Who'd have thought it? All right, so after exploring this nice little museum heritage center here in Mesquite, one of the main reasons we stopped in was for an original picture of the Riverside Inn. And after looking through a few books and talking to the people inside, there was no such picture or history. As a matter of fact, they didn't know much about it. So kind of a mysterious location, but I am still going to continue to look for photos and one day share them. I would have loved to have seen that in its heyday. As promised, you know, going from an abandoned location right over there, Riverside Drive location, through Mesquite, and you can probably hear the roar behind me. But one of the things is this area's got a tremendous amount of casinos, and one of the nicer ones right here in town, in my opinion, just based on the beauty of this waterfall behind us, you can see, makes it a nice property from the freeway when you're pulling up. That's a lot of water rushing off that fountain, or waterfall I should say, and a beautiful casino in the background. I hear a lot of great things about it. Again, not a gambler, but hey, maybe it's a gamble just standing by this water. Beautiful fountain over there as well. Little gazebo, Old Glory flying high, and the Casablanca sign right up there, resort and casino. So this is the casino from the front. You can see Casablanca way off in the distance there, the highest peak. And then that's an abandoned hotel there, the Oasis. And they're using that now for like gaming and things, but that parking structure is empty. There used to be buildings here. It's all part of that, but it's all gone. And then right over here, all this is abandoned. I'm gonna take a look. There's kind of a facade structure of rock. I'm gonna see if I can get in there without somebody trying to find us or get in trouble, because this is hotel property. I'm not sure if we're supposed to be back in here or not. It was barricaded over here, and there's abandoned tennis courts and things over there, and a building that was burnt down right in that area. Let's check it out. So there's those abandoned tennis courts. Kind of wild. There's like a rec center over here, and then this structure that of course has been taken down. You can see there was a lot here, but that was destroyed. You can still get down these sidewalks. A lot of it's fenced, but a lot of it's not. Look at that, all the money spent on tennis courts and buildings just sitting here rotting in the sun. I see a lot of abandoned hotels. Okay, with the I-15 right behind us, literally, I've seen this from the freeway and it looks abandoned. Now, I hear those working, or one of them is. It looks like it's a pool pump for a pool. Not sure if we're supposed to be here. You can see it's just abandoned. We're gonna look, it gets a little greener in here. Maybe it's still active, maybe it's not, but this is accessible from the back. You can see where there used to be water. Probably a little fountain running. That's been dry for a while. And here's the building. I see some outdoor fans. Oh yeah. I don't know what was in that building. There's not even a door. It's all locked up. You had to have a card to get in there, but not anymore. Look how overgrown that is. Like, it was pretty nice at one time. Still has a chase lounge back there if you want to take a nap. And the fan just wiggling from a little breeze, and let me tell you, there's not much. So this is all fenced. This whole resort is like deserted on this side of the fence. And over here, still landscaped and active. But there's like nobody here. There's not even cars in the parking lot. But let's take a look over this fence. I think there's maybe it looks like there was a big pool or something here for people to have outdoor parties. Maybe they filled it in. Maybe it was right there in the middle next to the tennis courts on the other side. Maybe that's what it was. You see the stone right there and lights. Maybe they filled the pool in. Very strange. Big palm trees. So, as we were talking about, they're obviously maintaining this side over here, but over here, abandoned. Yeah, this makes me think giant pool and water feature. There's pipes coming out over here that ran into that little water that ran around this rock facade. There's definitely some compressors running in there now, but there's no water and all that. Interesting. So really kind of weird, because there's about 4 or 5 cars where this hotel is, convention center. A lot of it says it's still part of Casablanca. I don't know. I'm just walking around the property. See, it's just in pretty bad shape. But I found that pool right down there. We're going to take a look there. But this is out of control growing. They have like a lanai in here. Pools through there. That is empty. Big meeting rooms here. And a ballroom just full of boxes. It's just been let go. But it makes me think there was a pool on the other side, because this pool's not very big. Hot tub in there. Look at that. Nope, not getting in there. Electricity's still on. You can hear it. Kind of an area for the pool. And that's it right down there. They've got a cone there in case you don't step in that hole. Not that anybody will, there's nobody here. But that old drinking fountain hasn't had anybody drinking out of it for quite some time. And those pool cleaning tools aren't doing their job anymore. This isn't as abandoned as some locations or some buildings, but they had the rules right there. But it's still kind of, it's kind of creepy when you walk around these places, because you just don't know if somebody's going to be here or pop around the corner and say, "What are you doing here?" There we go. Look at that. And there's the pool. Yeah, not a very big pool, but maybe it was nice in its day. There's all the furniture outside just stacked up right there. So this place, definitely abandoned. Now there's an old ice machine over there as well. They're still keeping it green. Moving on. So this is the Rising Star. This is a sports ranch resort, and it is shuttered. You can see a picture of the beautiful rooms on the side. You can see right there. Hey, they're on YouTube and Twitter. Wait a minute. Now X, Snapchat. Does that still exist? And that's what it was right there. You could book it all right here at the Rising Star, but it's closed. See, they have a sports bar in here, gambling and everything else. They are closed. It is completely empty inside. Hey, the lights are on a little bit, glowing in there. Probably on some kind of a security camera. Uh-oh. You know, this is, so I was right up there, new hotel, Rising Star. I have been driving up and down the highway for about 3 years, going back and forth to Vegas. I don't remember that I ever saw this as an active location. It's got kind of an old west feel to the front of it. But again, it is closed. Like a convention center back here. Giant. Look at that. You know, one might think that, speaking of the last 3 to 4 years, that maybe this is the after effect of what happened back in the beginning of 2020, I believe, with things shutting down. What a tragedy that would be with all the money put into this. A couple of poppin' casinos across the way, across the highway, that have been here for quite some time. I think it's Virgin River Casino. And of course, Casablanca, it still has its water flowing out front for now. This is the hotel entrance here. This is facing the highway. Rising Star, guest check-in. No trespassing. There it is. This right here would be like valet parking, or where you'd pull up. And that is a big ass fan. That's literally what they're called. These lights glowing in there. Again, kind of has that Old West vibe to it. Again, we are in the desert. That is it. The facade of a couple of doors, saloon style. And up there, Rising Star. Not really. Doesn't look like it ever got off the ground. All right, so we are at the back of the resort, and I just found out this closed March of 2020. So that definitely gives me those vibes of when things shut down and the reasons they shut down. You know, on YouTube, you're not supposed to say those things about those times, but this is the back side of it. It's just wide open on the parking lot. And there's a really nice pool area over here. Again, they're taking care of the grounds. Maybe they're going to reopen this, maybe not. And hey, there's still water in the pool. And if you have to use the bathroom, well, that's too bad, because you can't get through the fence. But there it is. Not as blue as it should be, but still a pool just the same. The backside of the casino and the backside of the hotel. Not abandoned, just shuttered for a while until it reopens. So on the way home, we thought we'd just stop by and in Littlefield and be able to buy ourselves a couple of lottery tickets. $114 million. So we tried to get those. Internet's down, so we can't do that. We got to find another location. Okay, so recovering from the lottery ticket experience, can't get one. $114 million Mega Millions. $114 million. Can't get a ticket. So, you know, we can't. We're going back into Utah. They don't sell lottery tickets. And somebody yelling out their window at me. So we're going to have to give up on the lottery ticket and share with you an abandoned building along the side of the road. Not sure exactly what this was, but there's obviously a location where there was a sign. So maybe this was a filling station. You can see the metal coming out of the ground and some cement right there. An old seat spring out of a car. Or I cannot find any information on it. We are on Old Arrowhead Highway, and also the Spanish Trail runs right there along the road. The old Spanish Trail. Here is the building. A little bit of cement foundation made out of stone. Just a tiny little place. And it's got a fireplace right there, an old stove, wood stove kind of thing going on. And a cement floor right in the middle, and the rest of it kind of dirt around the outside. Check out the old cans. Old cans laying there. Maybe they're old oil cans. Kind of looks like what they are. Maybe this was an old filling station, but I don't see much. Let's take a look around. So interesting. If anybody watching, you know, the video can tell me, this is Arizona, again, Old Arrowhead Highway. I haven't seen a picture. What is this building? It's got an old rock construction, but it has kind of modern cement foundations around it, which makes me think there was a couple of signs. Giant chunk of metal buried in the ground right here. It's like a big, like a barrel. You can hear it echo inside. It's kind of strange because there's a fireplace in there, and the walls kind of look pioneer-ish. Maybe that's the way it was designed. The highway's just right there. But more old cans just kind of in the dirt. Right there. A lot of them. Maybe they're motor oil cans. Some of them aren't, but that looks like maybe motor oil. So a lot of these older places we're finding no pictures. This is obviously the place where they dumped a lot of cans and garbage. You can see them all there. Bigger cans back here. Let's see what these are. These are a lot bigger. See if it says anything on it. Can't see anything. So cans all around it. You can see this is the spot where they dumped it all. Right here. Smaller bottom of a can right there. All in this hole that was dug in the ground, surrounded by these cans. What's funny is the water's running and it's taking the old cans with it. Right there. So as you see where the water runs, it's picking the cans up out of that that garbage pile and just throwing them through the desert to see if we can find anything with a label or a stamp on it. It's just an old soda can with a pull tab, so that's fairly old. There's a bunch more over here. So another kind of a garbage pile here. Walked about 100 yards away. It's a lot more tin and different kinds of tops to these barrels. There's one sticking out of the ground there, a round one. Oil cans. And here's the top to a barrel. Right there, see that? Old top to a barrel. So that definitely is down river, we'll call it, from that building. But there was a lot of cans from that building, which makes me think it was some kind of an automotive filling station or something like that along the road. All right, so that's it from this little abandoned building here, which is close to Littlefield, Arizona, headed towards the Utah border up Old Arrowhead Highway, or the Spanish Trail. And you can see behind me, 360 degrees, just this little road going through the desert. That is a tremendous amount of open space in the desert. Well, that's going to do it for today. And until our next adventure, goodbye from Weekend Escapades. We'll see you in the next one. Moving on. And there it is, the Spanish Trail right behind us. As I mentioned, that abandoned building, old service station, whatever it was, right on the Spanish Trail. The old Spanish Trail, trading on the early frontier from 1829 to 1848. Basically what it did is it started a big trade from New Mexico all the way through to California. 100 or more mules at a time? That's a lot of mules.